Hello, everyone. My name is Frank Scatoni.
And I am Ciaran Thornton.
And together we
And
are
Double Trouble.
Double Trouble. Oh, we got it in sync that one time.
One time,
yeah. Keep
well.
working at it. Well, welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Double Trouble Part 1. Thank you for joining us. Ciaran and I are going to do a little recap of the last few days here at Del Mar. Then we'll talk about today's events and races. Emphasis, of course, on the low takeout, player-friendly $5 late double. Ciaran and I are playing it every day. We have a little friendly competition going on there. We'll talk about that in a second. And then remember, this is just sort of a preview show because just like last week, we are going to go live later today, shortly after race 6, so we can talk about our double bets in real time. We're going to look at race 7 and 8 in more detail. We're going to look at live odds. We're going to look at probables, any other relevant information to help us formulate our wagers. If you are watching on the Scatoni Sure Shot X feed, thank you so much. You might want to migrate over and subscribe to our YouTube channel, however, because we post a lot of other stuff on there. It's at Double Trouble Live. You can subscribe, and if you watch it on the YouTube, you can ask questions, you can make comments in the chat room, get notifications, all that fun stuff. So if you are watching on YouTube, feel free to ask us a question or talk a little trash, because that's what we're about to do. We've got 8 races today, 4 o'clock first post, 4 o'clock Fridays. We're going to talk about the card in just a second, but you know what, Ciaran? I am going to give you the floor. You have the floor, complete freedom, because me being the man that I am man enough to address the white elephant in the room right off the bat. We didn't do a show yesterday, but we put out our picks because we support this wager. I actually did a $3 late pick 3, another low takeout bet, and you stuck to the late double. You posted your plays. They're public record. Everyone could see them. Go ahead, gloat, brag, say whatever it is you want to say.
I'm a little hunched over, because, since opening weekend, I've been carrying you on my back here. 28-1 winner. I got the double yesterday. 7 with all. So you got beat on the line. Your other horse, I think, is still racing. And in the last race, you did all. And what happened? The favorite wins.
But you realize the strategy of my bet was to beat the favorite in the first 2 legs and hope for chaos in the last. Instead, it was all 3 favorites. So the idea of my bet was good, but the result was horrendous. Like you said, I got that tough beat in the first leg. The favorite came and nipped me at the wire. Neil Drysdale, and who was the jockey?
Mike Smith, who usually always does that to me when I don't use him. So I knew I was using him for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you guys are simpatico now ever since you met him in the Eddie Logan room, and you kind of worked out your differences. So,
yes, indeed.
So I was out in the first leg anyway, but I will tell you this. In the second leg, I probably shouldn't have tried to take on Splendora, who obviously you were smart enough to use in something combinations going forward. I'll let you explain your wager in a second, but I was just really disappointed in the way my horse ran. I expected a much better effort, and the horse was terrible. So I was way off in that race. And then again, like you said, the favorite ended up winning the last race. But to be fair, he was 6-4 on the morning line. Yeah, he was 6. So just tell people how you strategized that bet, what you hit, how much ahead of the game you are than I am. I'm playing catch up today.
Well, I only spent $80 on my double, and in hindsight, as we like to go back, I really felt confident on Splendora, but after opening weekend, I thought I had to spread a little just to get a victory in the double. And I really liked the horse that ended up going favorite at 6-1.
The 11 horse, I think it was, right?
I really should have done a $50 double, the 2 with, the 11, but I was kind of hedging things, but still $80 returned $177. So I doubled my money. Can't argue about that. They hammered it late. So, everyone knew he was going to be the favorite going into the pace. You didn't change your bet, but you were stubborn.
I know. I didn't get the memo. I still would have used that. I probably maybe would have used the horse, but certainly not a 2-1. Ruben Gomez is a good horseman, but he doesn't have a lot of stock. He doesn't have a lot of quality horses. So the fact that horse took so much money, you knew right off the jump that horse was very live. But again, like to your credit, you structured it in a way where you did have more money on the combination that ended up winning.
I should have had way more. I mean,
Yeah.
I really shouldn't have done that backup ticket, but it was more of along the lines. I wanted the positive mental, I hit something, get
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Not be like you now going in all stressed out that you're going to blank yet again today.
I'm not stressed because you know why I'm not stressed? Because I'm so surgical. When I hit it, I'm going to hit for stacks. I'm not here to grind it out. Okay. I'm not here to spread, favorite, all that stuff.
You just do all in one leg. Yes, I know.
Well, we're going to talk about today's late double in a second. I thought it was really, really tough. I know Ciaran has some interesting opinions, but there's a lot of stuff going on today. There's happy hour at Del Mar. If you're a Diamond Club member, half off signature drinks and select beers. And if you drink like Ciaran, you're going to save thousands today because the drinks are.
I'm going to have extra money. I'm going to have extra money for the doubles for the next 3 days, just based on going today.
Yeah, and I know you were invited to the Turf Club today to sort of host a group of people from Pacific Advisors. I was not invited because I did not hit my wager yesterday, and they only wanted winners up there.
And I don't think that you don't look good in the jacket, and they don't think they think you don't own one too. Might be what it is as well.
Here, I don't have any jackets that fit me anymore. I got to go on a regimen.
You'll have to use the green borrow one from downstairs, right in front of the elevator.
Well, you know what? My goal is to maybe fit into my jacket for when Gold Phoenix ends up winning the Del Mar Handicap. Maybe you'll invite me in the winner's circle or the champagne room.
Yes, maybe. We'll see. It depends on how your picks go until then.
All right. Well, real quick, Gold Phoenix is running on Sunday, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's which race?
Race 9, Eddie Reed.
Eddie Reed. Okay.
And for some reason, we are not the favorite, so might get a good price yet again. Always gets disrespected, even though
That's
when
true.
he likes the beach and he's training up a storm in the mornings like he's never trained. He's never trained as well as he's training, which is as old as he gets. He keeps on point.
Such a good
Should be
horse.
a good price.
Good luck on Sunday. We'll probably hop on and do something fun for that. Let's talk about today's card. I thought it was very challenging. I write my Frankly Speaking column for In the Money Plus. I like to give out spot plays, kind of pick and choose a couple of races to really get into, and I couldn't find one. I do think that the two turf route races, races 2 and 6, have interesting possibilities, but they're both tote board races for me because I think several can win. So I have nothing for you guys early in the card. I believe, Ciaran, you had something you wanted to mention because you have a horse, I believe, in race 5 that could be the key to your whole day.
Well, it is the key. I mean, I thought it was a hard card. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, but I thought it was race 5. I like the number 8, Constant Conflict, and I hope we get this morning line. I don't think we will. I actually, when I did my analysis, I was like, there's no way Constant Conflict is going to be 8-1. I actually think this horse is going to be the favorite, or 3-1 or 4-1. That's my thinking. So my early pick 5 and late pick 4 are all keyed around that horse.
Yeah, I think the morning line is it is what it is because sort of unknown connections, right? Andrew Harris doesn't have a lot of horses, but he sure makes the most of it, right? His 7 starts, 3 wins, 43%, and this horse ran a hole in the win last time, and is capable of running well, from this outside post with that tactical speed.
And we got Edwin Maldonado's riding. Pop the gate and let everyone come catch him, I think, is going to be the strategy.
So that horse is going to be a single. What do you get? Late pick 4, or pick 5,
early pick 5, late pick 4, everything. And then the other one I wanted to throw out is One of These Days, which is a horse I was a part owner in, but we gave up. And once we gave him up, he started winning.
Exactly. When you put him in for a tag, he lost by a whisker.
Yes.
He got claimed, I think, by Steve Knapp, came back and won.
At 20 from the same level. And now he's in for $50K today. But the reason we'll probably get a good price. He may not win the race, but if you're one of those exotic bet players, I would absolutely use that horse in your exotics. And the reason is the hottest jockey right now is Freshu, and he's ridden through the claim both times. He rode when we owned it. He rode through the Nap, and he's riding again today. And when a jockey sticks like a horse like this, especially a hot jockey, and he's 15-1 morning line, you got to take a look.
That's a great point. And yeah, Victor Garcia is a very good trainer, shows confidence by moving the horse up in class. You're right. I mean, Frazier is the hottest jock going right now, and I'm sure he had plenty of options in that race, and he decided to stick with one of these days through 2 claims. That's a very, very good angle. So there you go. There's Ciaran's key play of the day. Let's hope he gets lucky. But I have all the confidence in the world, Ciaran. All the confidence in the world. You're gonna crush it today. You're riding high off a win. But what are we gonna do in the late double? Can lightning strike twice? Let's look at race 7, the $150,000 fleet treat for Calbred and Cal Sired, 3-year-old fillies going 7 furlongs on the main track. It drew a big, deep, competitive field. I did my horse-by-horse analysis for the online contest race for the Del Mar website, dmtc.com. You can go to my handicapping page and see what I think about every horse in the race. I had a really hard time, though. I think you can make cases for several of these horses. I'll tell you who I'm interested in starting my double with, but I am not going to finalize anything until I see the odds later. But Ciaran, why don't you talk us through this race and let us know who you're keying in on?
When I was going through this, and because we're doing the show now, I'm starting to go backwards. Usually I've been the kind of handicapper, I'd start at race 1 and go all the way through. But
right
now, seeing as the double is our thing, I started going backwards. And number 3, Almond Joy, when I was going through this, I was like, well, here's my single for the card today. I thought, just looking at it, I was like, looks great on paper. You know, if I needed a single, sharp workout. Kent's riding, Kent here at Del Mar over the years has won me a lot of money, especially on some long shots. But I thought this was a logical favorite. Won 3 in a row. I don't think the distance, we're going, 7 furlongs here?
Yeah, cutting back.
The horses won shorter and longer.
Yeah.
So I don't think distance is an issue. And this is one of those tricky distances. So I thought on paper, this horse looked fantastic, especially if you had a gun to my head and I had to pick a single, this would be my single for sure. But I always need a long shot if I can find one. And I like going deep. Almost won a stakes race here in May, going longer, cuts back today, has as much speed as Almond Joy. So I thought it was a very interesting price here as a backup on my double. So I'm just going to be in this first leg going 3-1.
Yeah, we're pretty different in this race. No knocks to those horses. I think they're both very good, especially Almond Joy has won 3 in a row and has beaten a bunch of these horses already. I'm just a little concerned about the race shape and the post positions. Now, yesterday, I thought the track was the fairest it's been all meet. You had horses from the inside, outside. It was a pretty fair track. But every other day, we've had kind of extreme biases, and mostly from outside posts where horses can just sort of track off the pace in the clear, level out into the stretch, and just wear the inside horses down. So I had a little problem. I thought going deep was going to have to gun hard from the rail at 7 furlongs. That's always extremely difficult with the gap there. If you lug in, your race is over. So this horse's race all depends on the break. But, to your point, the horse has speed, and look who's riding, right? One of the best gate jocks. So you got Maldonado there. Again, bet on Kent, pay the rent. I do like number 3, Almond Joy, but again, I'm worried about the race shape. This horse likes to come from off the pace. Kent's probably going to put the horse on the rail, save a little ground around the turn, and then either stay inside or tip out. If the rail isn't the place to be, then, this favorite is very vulnerable in my mind.
And we got to keep in mind, too, this is going to be our first late racing here at Del Mar, so we get to see how the track plays late at night. I mean, opening day, we started at 2. We're starting at 4, and then this race is going to be 6, 7 o'clock?
Yeah, exactly. Double, so. That's a great point. I went with the other horse who's going to take money. Number 5, Drink This Cup, invades from back east after a sharp wire-to-wire victory. This horse will be forwardly placed. I think this horse should trip out, maybe stalking in the 3 path, but right up on the pace. We'll get first jump. There is a world in which the jockey guns hard and tries to wire them. I would not approve of that strategy based on what I was saying about the track profile.
It's JJ. He knows what to do. I mean, that was my third choice in here, but I thought I wouldn't get a good price unless I just went all in.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. That's why we're going to chart the probables when we go live. the horse might not be usable. So we'll see. But that was the one. I actually, my sneaky top pick is number 8 In the Air tonight, 15-1 on the morning line. You don't have to be a Phil Collins fan to like this song, because I'm not a Phil Collins fan, and I like this horse. I mean, I like this horse here. Look, this horse had trouble 2 back when finishing behind a few of these in the Malaire, so I'm just going to kind of ignore that race. In fact, I'm going to ignore all of her tries against open foes. I mean, Open Company is way different than Calbreds, even Calbred stakes horses. Look, last year she ran 3rd here at Del Mar when going 7 furlongs in a Calbred stakes race. She likes this track. I have a feeling that the trainer was pointing to this race because he knows she likes the track and she likes the distance. So if she wins, I'm going to have a very, very nice day. And then the other horse I'm going to look at, another big price, is one of 2 Carla Gaines horses. This is the one who's going to be less fancy, number 9, Hot Girl Walk. More tactical speed than she's shown. She's been racing against faster open foes, so it looks like she comes from off, but she doesn't have to. She's going to get a good stalking trip on the outside on a good part of the track. Again, ignore the recent form. She's racing against older company, Open Company, way tougher than this group. Look, she won a Calbred stakes race over this track last year. So again, I'm like playing the little horse for course angle with my prices here. Again, we'll chart them out. I know those 2 will be usable. We'll see if the 3 is usable. But, even if we're alive after the first leg, we got to close it out. So let's look at race 8, $8,000 claimer, 1 mile on the main track. How are we getting paid?
What are you using, Frank, so I can make sure I start changing my bet here? I'll let you go first.
Again, I thought this was a pretty competitive race, but instead of spreading here, I'm going to plant my flag with 1 horse. I might change my mind based on what Ciaran says after this, but I like number 3, Punctual, at 5-1 on the morning line. I doubt this horse will be this price if he's live. He was just 5-2 against more expensive animals last time. He just kind of ran around the track while wide. I don't know what they were doing in that spot. I don't know if they were being overconfident or if they were just kind of setting the horse up for this race. Maybe a form darkener. 3rd start of his form cycle, drops to the 8K ranks. Hess has made a career of this move over the years, dropping horses at Del Mar to be competitive and get the win. I think this horse gets a great stalking in the clear trip, and that will be my key in the last race. I might add a few with my bombs, depending on what you like.
Well, this number 3 was actually my second choice because Frey's riding, and I need him to start heating up this weekend so he can bring Gold Phoenix home for the victory on Sunday.
All right, fair enough.
Like you said, I mean, it's an 8K claimer race. I actually thought we had a possible single here. Number 1, Union Way. 1 last out. 12 or 14 times this horse, always in the money. This horse likes to be in the money. So I like when horses have a nose for the line. I mean, we're an 8K claimer, so they're going up a little bit here. It's an 8K claimer race. Anything can happen, as we know, especially last race here at Del Mar. And then a crazy price I have that I'm going to be doing I'll go over my bets later, is because I just want to hear Larry saying the name of number 11 as it crosses the finish line first.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and listen to see how Miramati pronounces it. What do you like about this horse?
I just 1 last out, sharp work, jumping up in class, and it's one of those races where some crazy horses are going to win. So, I mean, my bigger double, I'm going to be doing a $25 double, keying the 3 Almond Joy in race 7 with 1 and 3. That's going to be my main bet that ended up winning for me yesterday. Then I'm going to do a smaller bet, a $15 double, 1 with 1-3. I'm trying to see if I can get a price with some other medium prices. And then I've got one more bet, a $10 double, 1-3 with 11. So I'm trying to spread out, and when we go live later today, we can see what these actually pay, and maybe it won't make sense to do a couple of them, or it might make sense to do more on my bigger one. But that's kind of the plan. I got a little bit of spread, but I'm essentially all in on 1-3 in the first leg. But number 5 may drift up in price, and I might have to change that too. So I got the roadmap for what we might do later.
Exactly. That's the point of the show, right? You want to get a little taste of what might come, and we want to adjust on the fly, just like being at the racetrack with your buddies. There are horses that you like in the morning that you may not like in the afternoon, and vice versa. I love that you have a map drawn out, Ciaran, because you're very strategic. You have an idea of what you want to do, and you can react based on real-time odds and probables. I do not have a game plan just because I thought these races were really tough. Right now I'm just looking at 5, 8, 9 with 3. That might change based on, what we're seeing. I might even be able to use Almond Joy because I have those 2 bombs. So I'm going to be a little more loosey-goosey. Ciaran's got a really good game plan. We'll come back live after race 6. We'll talk about race 7 and 8 in real time. Try to hit this late double. Ciaran's going to try to go 2 for 2. Because remember, Ciaran, if you don't hit the late double,
you go home in trouble.
Don't go home in trouble.
Like Frank did the other day.
Listen, I know I'm in trouble because I'm not allowed in the turf club. So look, we got a show to do later. Please try not to have too much fun up in the turf club with Terry and all of her associates. Please.
We'll see you guys later.
All right, take care. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back.